Listen, nobody genuinely enjoys getting that winter property tax bill. But what if I told you that you could completely skip the long lines and handle the whole thing securely in like 5 minutes, right from your couch? Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to completely demystify paying your Tarrant County property taxes online. If you own a home or property in Tarrant County, you already know the tax bill is coming, but paying it really doesn't have to be a headache. We're going to master this online system together. We'll walk through exactly how to navigate the official site, how to avoid those unnecessary fees, and how to safely get that balance down to zero.
I mean, let's be honest for a second. Are you tired of standing in those massive tax office lines that literally wrap around the building? Or maybe you're just frustrated by the anxiety of mailing a check and crossing your fingers that the post office actually delivers it before the deadline. And yeah, trying to figure out which government website is the right one can be a chore all on its own. If you've ever felt that pain, you are absolutely in the right place. Paying online is the ultimate time-saving solution, and by the end of this explainer, you're going to have every single tool you need to bypass those lines and delays entirely.
Okay, let's dive into this. Our roadmap today covers 6 quick steps. Prepare to pay, navigate the website, set up your account, complete the payment, confirm and troubleshoot, and finally, exemptions and deadlines.
All right, starting right off with Section 1, prepare to pay your tax, gather your documents.
Taking just 2 minutes right now to get organized is going to prevent some really costly mistakes later on. So, here's your essential checklist. First, you need your account number. You can easily find this on your mailed statement or an old receipt. And honestly, searching by your exact account number is the absolute safest way to make sure you don't accidentally pay someone else's tax bill. If you don't have it handy, you can use your property address. But a pro tip here, stick to just the street number and name. Leave off things like avenue or drive just to make the search system work a bit smoother. Finally, have your payment method ready to go. That means your bank routing and account numbers for an e-check or your physical credit or debit card.
Moving right along to Section 2, navigate the county website, finding the official portal. Now, this is crucial. We want to make absolutely sure we're using the secure official portal so we avoid any third-party scams. Take a look at the official seal on your screen. When you navigate to the county search page, always look for this specific Tarrant County Tax Assessor Collector seal. It has the Texas star right in the middle, surrounded by a wreath. Seeing this is your guarantee that you are securely on the official Tarrant County portal and not some clever lookalike site.
Which brings us to Section 3, set up your account. Profiles versus guest checkout.
Once you're safely on the site, you need to pull up your property records. And I've got some absolutely fantastic news for those of you who just want to get in, pay, and get out. You are no longer required to create a profile to make an online payment. This is a huge time saver thanks to their new system update. You can literally just use the guest checkout feature, search for your property, check your balance, and pay your bill without having to memorize yet another username and password.
However, if you happen to own multiple properties, or maybe you just really like keeping a centralized record of your payments, registering for a profile on the My Taxes online page is still a fantastic option. It's a super simple 3-step process. Just enter a valid email address, create a password, make sure it's at least 8 characters long with 1 lowercase letter and 1 special character, and then just search and select your property accounts to link them right to your new profile.
All right, Section 4, complete the payment process, choosing how to pay.
Listen up, because this is arguably the most important part of this whole explainer. We absolutely want to avoid any surprise charges. Let's look at your options. If you go with an e-check, which literally just means typing in your bank account and routing number, the county charges 0 additional fees. It is 100% free. But if you decide to use a credit card, you are going to hit with a 2.15% fee. On a typical property tax bill, that can easily add up to over $100 out of nowhere. Debit cards will hit you with a flat $2.95 fee. I strongly recommend taking that extra minute to go grab your checkbook and using the free e-check option. It's a no-brainer.
Now, before you actually hit submit, you need to be aware of a few important restrictions so your payment doesn't just get rejected. The system absolutely will not accept cash cards, payroll cards, or gift cards, no exceptions. You also can't use third-party apps like Zelle, PayPal, Apple Pay, or Venmo. It's strictly traditional bank accounts or major debit and credit cards. Oh, and a quick heads up on those convenience fees we just mentioned. Those are actually charged by the processing company, Chase Bank, not Tarrant County itself.
On to Section 5. Confirm payment and troubleshooting, securing your receipt.
So you've clicked submit, right? But the journey isn't quite over. Securing your proof of payment is essential. First off, always make sure you hit submit before 11:59 p.m. Central Time on the due date. At the stroke of midnight, it is officially considered late. Second, whatever you do, do not close your browser until you actually see that final confirmation number screen load. Third, immediately save that digital receipt as a PDF. I'd even recommend giving it a practical file name, like Tarrant County, your account number, tax year, receipt.pdf. That way, when tax season rolls around next year, you can just pull it up in seconds. So, the crucial point here is knowing what to do if things don't go perfectly. For instance, if you decide to pay by phone instead of online, just be aware that phone payments take 1 to 3 days to actually post to your online account. So, don't panic if it doesn't show up immediately. Also, if you use a card and it gets declined for any reason, your bank might hold those pending funds hostage for weeks. The county doesn't have any access to your money in this pending state, so you'll have to contact your card issuer directly to get those funds released.
Finally, Section 6, Exemptions, Deadlines, and Benefits, maximizing your time and money.
Let's shift our focus to those strict deadlines you absolutely must not miss. Here is your critical timeline. Bills are typically mailed out around October 1st. If you're planning to use the half payment option, your first payment is due November 30th. For pretty much everyone else, the standard full payment is due by January 31st. I literally cannot stress this enough. On February 1st, hefty late penalties and interest immediately start piling up. You have to pay before midnight Central Time on January 31st.
Now, you do actually have some fairly flexible payment options. Most folks just do the full payment by January 31st. But that half payment option, it's a fantastic budgeting tool. You pay exactly half by November 30th, and the second half isn't even due until June 30th, with zero interest. Just as a quick side note, for the 2024 tax year, that November 30th deadline was actually bumped to December 2nd, just because of how the weekend fell. Finally, if you happen to have an eligible over 65 or disability homestead exemption, you qualify for a special quarterly payment plan.
Before we wrap this up, we really need to clarify an incredibly common point of confusion. There are two entirely different entities at play here: the tax office and the Tarrant Appraisal District, usually called TAD. The tax office only handles the bills, collecting your payments and issuing those receipts. That's it. If you want to protest your property value or apply for a homestead exemption to try and lower your tax burden, you have to go through the Tarrant Appraisal District. Please don't waste your time calling the tax office about a homestead exemption. They literally can't process it, and it's just going to end in frustration for everyone. And just standard protocol here, we do need to deliver our professional disclaimer. Everything we've covered in this explainer is based on current, official Tarrant County data. But of course, for any specific legal reliance or just to check for any last-minute procedural updates, you should always consult the official Tarrant County records directly or reach out to their offices.
And that brings us to the end. Bookmark that official site, grab your account number, and just check this off your to-do list with total confidence. But before you go, I want you to ask yourself, now that you've claimed back hours of your time and avoided those sneaky credit card fees, what other financial chores in your life are quietly costing you time and money, just waiting to be optimized? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and happy optimizing.